Hi there, and welcome to this pre-lecture video for week 10 of separation processes. This week we're moving on to a new topic, which is adsorption on solids. And this is an interesting topic because it's an example where we have mass transfer from the gas phase to the solid phase. It's not that common that we've studied it before, but it's critically important. Some of the things that we'll look at is how does that actually occur? How does your solute get from the bulk of the gas phase onto the adsorption sites on the surface of a solid? And another thing is to look at the actual materials used for adsorbents themselves and look at how much surface area is available for those molecules to adsorb. And in fact, you'll find that it's very, very high. There's an enormous amount of surface area available. We will look at how we gather experimental data in the lab on the performance of particular adsorbents in particular systems and how we can fit theoretical curves to that experimentally gathered data. And finally, we'll look at a second type of experimental data that's gathered, which are called breakthrough curves, and in particular, how the data gathered in the lab on breakthrough curves can be scaled up to design large adsorption columns. Now, adsorption on solids is critically important. It's not something we've talked about a lot in the unit so far, but it's very commonly used in emerging separations. So bioseparations is a relatively new field, and especially where you're separating very high value biomolecules in usually quite small quantities from a mixture. And this is almost always done through adsorption on a solid adsorbent. And a second very contemporary way that gas adsorption is used on solids is the separation of carbon dioxide from mixed gases, and that may be really important in the future when we try to have clean coal technologies where we capture the CO2 from the combustion process before it's emitted to the atmosphere. So adsorption on solids is an interesting topic, but it's a critically important one in these very important emerging separations. Quick bit of housekeeping for this week. Most groups will have conducted their lab experiment by now, and in fact the first groups, the people that did their lab experiment in week 8, will be submitting their post-lab report this week. So it's up to you to make sure that you submit your post-lab report within 2 weeks from when you did the experiment, and only one report is required from each group submitted through Moodle. Class test 2, the second class test for the unit, is coming up next week, and that will be at 3 p.m. on Monday afternoon, and it will cover all the topics up to gas absorption on solids. That's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this pre-lecture video, and I look forward to seeing you in class.